I'm Chloe. I've been part of Metro for about 6 years. I'm married to Caleb. I don't know why I'm pointing, you can't see him, but I'm married to Caleb. And I'm really glad that Metro does a series on relationships pretty much every year, because it's really good to talk about it. Most of us are in our 20s and 30s, which means we're going to date. So what's really interesting is that the Bible doesn't really talk about dating. It just wasn't part of the culture at that time. But before we dismiss it and go, oh, God's got nothing to say about it, actually the Bible is full of really good principles about how to love one another really well, and how to be kind to one another, and how to treat each other really well, that we can apply to dating to help us be happier and healthier daters. So here are my top 3 tips on how to be happy, healthy daters and date in a way that is loving one another. So tip number 1 is date with aim. When we don't have an aim, when we don't have a target, often we end up just causing a lot of mess. We don't know what we're aiming at, we don't know who we're dating or why we're dating them. But the Bible's really clear that actually marriage is one of God's great ideas. And the purpose of dating for us is to work out, okay, can I see myself spending the rest of my life with this person? So if even before dating we're going, oh no, I definitely couldn't spend the rest of my life with this person, don't date them. In the short term and the long term, it's not going to be good for you and it's not going to be good for them. There are 3 C's that we need to bear in mind when we're thinking about how we date with aim and who we date. And the first, obviously, is chemistry. We're good at that bit. We've actually got to find them attractive. But the second is we need connection. We need to actually get on really well with that person. So much of doing long-term relationships, so much of marriage is just the mundane stuff. It's really important we get on well and we can have a lot of fun doing life's ordinary things. And the third thing we often don't think about is calling. Calling is really important, and that's all about our vision and our values and what we base our whole life around. And that's not saying that we need to be 2 individuals who are exactly the same, that's really boring, but it is saying that whatever our vision and our values are in our life, we need to make sure that whoever we're dating and whoever we're ultimately marrying has the same vision and values as us. So for me, as a Christian, I really want my life to be following Jesus' way of doing things, bringing God's kingdom in every area of my life. My finances, my decisions, my time, my friends, my work, everything I do, I want it to be God-honouring. And if we're serious about our relationship with God, we then want to be serious about having a relationship with someone else who's serious about their relationship with God. So we need to be dating Christians because we want to marry a Christian. Tip number 2 of how to be a happier and healthier dater is to date with clarity. So much of modern day dating is pretty ambiguous, and there's a lot of drama and anxiety that causes. We're really uncertain where we stand with somebody. But the Bible's really clear that actually to be loving to people, we need to speak truth to them. We need to be really clear with our communication to one another. And that means that we need to be clear in starting our relationships, that we've got open lines of communications about what our intentions are. But we also need to be clear in finishing our relationships. Actually, when stuff's come to a natural end, we need to stop it there and there rather than drawing it out and dragging it on, because that's kind to neither of us. But also critically, we really need to be clear in our friendships so that we don't lead each other along. And my third top tip of how to be happier and healthier daters is to date to be a blessing. Again, the Bible's really clear that the love that we are to show to people is bringing out the very best in them, is to seek that other person's interests above our own. And we want, wherever this relationship ends up, we want it to be a relationship where being in it has made us better people, that we're in it to really love the other person fully, just like God loves them. And that's really helpful for us when we think about asking questions in our relationship. All those like how far is too far kind of questions. We need to go, okay, what is ultimately the most God-loving thing for this person in the short term and also in the long term here. I know this has been like a really, really short soundbite, and it's something that I'm really passionate talking about, dating in a way that's loving to others. So I actually did a talk on it last year for Metro, so do go check that out on Metro Talk Library online.